Hello, welcome this evening. Thanks for being here. I would like to introduce you to somebody who's very special to me.
Riker, and for those who don't know me, well, that's too bad. I got diagnosed with scoliosity. It's the long name for spinal cerebellar ataxia. And since I had it, I've been trying to live the best life I possibly can. And I just wanted to share it with everyone that subscribes. Scholarship has been a really hard challenge for me, and I also wear out my shoes, and I also my legs got cramped. And my feet were hurting like crazy. Since I got diagnosed with scoliosity, I had to do lots and lots and lots and lots of tests.
So Riker,
That's what you know about me.
That's what you know about Riker. Riker is my 11-year-old nephew. About a year ago, he was diagnosed with a terminal illness called SCA. Over the year, he has had severe pain and discomfort, and that brings me to what I want to talk to tonight. I want to talk about chronic illness and chronic pain. As an 11-year-old child, can you imagine waking up every morning in pain, going to bed every night in pain, and the only options you have are not healthy options for you? They're actually going to make your condition worse, not better. Riker has had the diagnosis for a year, and about 8 weeks ago, his mother, my sister, was able to find an alternative method of pain management for Riker. And it will surprise you because it's the one thing that makes you beautiful. It's Botox. Can you imagine the one thing that makes you beautiful also can take away your pain? As I started researching this subject, I was blown away with the technology and the advancing they've made in pain management. But let's go back first and talk about how we used to manage pain, or how we're currently managing pain. So in Riker's case, as an 11-year-old child, and at his weight, there are very few ways to manage his pain. 2 of them, and the traditional ways, has been 1, narcotics, and 2, painkillers, or pain medication. Both are not good for us, and we all know that. We've heard about the opiate crisis that happened in the 90s and in the 2000s in America. I have some statistics, and they are pretty sad. So the numbers are that 30% in 2019 through 2020, 30% of overdoses were from opiates. 75%, or 92,000 drug overdoses, were either related to opiates or had opiates in their system at the time of the OD. So we've lost thousands and thousands of people that are trying to manage their chronic pain to addictions from opiates. Let's talk a little bit about opiates. My first reference will be Alison Hotop. She is a doctor, and she's doing research for the Japanese health clinic on how we can manage pain with alternative methods. One of the research studies they did was finding out that when they used Botox for pain management, not only were there no side effects, but there were benefits they had no idea that were going to be in there. It's an accidental find. They have found that things like piercings can help with migraines, right? So the dark piercings, is that how you say it? They found that in the 90s were helping people with migraines. So it's kind of the same thing. It's an accidental find. Let's talk a little bit about the opiates though. Like, how do opiates work? They go ingested, right? We swallow them, or we get them through an IV. Both ways, they go through your digestive system and your neurological system. So they affect you when they're digesting. They cause things like liver failure, kidney failure, heartburn, indigestion, all kinds of neurological and digestive problems with these medications. Neurologically, they cause depression, addiction, repression. They will stop emotion, and they affect you neurologically in a negative way. So when we're moving from something that's hurting us, our digestive and our neurological system, to something that is just an isolated pain management, we're talking about something like Botox. But they have been using, what do they use? Are there little injections? What are they called? Help me, guys. No, acupuncture is a really good one. Cortisone shots. So first, cortisone shots. And basically what they do is they put it in isolated areas. So if you have shoulder pain, they'll inject into the shoulder and it causes the shoulder to be relieved with pain, right? It's isolated, it's not ingested, and it's not neurological. So how does Botox work with pain? It's just that thing. It is injected. It takes 5 minutes. It's injected to the area where you're having pain. It actually freezes the muscle so that no contraction or pain can happen in that muscle. The benefits of Botox are that it has no side effects whatsoever. It can be used multiple times over and over again, and it can be used in different areas. It has no addictive agents, and it is not ingested or going through your neurological system, so it doesn't affect thought process, foggy brain, or any digestive, kidney, any side effects whatsoever. A couple of the drawbacks, which I think are minimal, is that it does take 2 weeks to take full effect. Within 24 hours, you have some effect. It takes 2 weeks for the full effect of the Botox to stop the area. It only lasts 4 months, but when you're talking about painkillers who last 4 hours, or Botox that lasts 4 months, I think that's a pretty good trade-off. Also, it can be used over and over again. So say they go in and they inject Botox into Riker's leg and he still has an area that's hurting. They can go in the next day and inject more in another area. So it can be used as much as he needs. There is no limitation on it. Also, the miracle thing about Botox is it's accessible. You don't need a prescription, you don't need a doctor, you can have it done at an office or a spa. Also, it's affordable. It is literally so affordable for parents who can't afford expensive prescriptions. And accessible, affordable, hold on one second. And there are no long-term effects whatsoever. The next reference I'm gonna have is I'm going to share with you information that comes from the Sergei Medical Institute, the Wuha Japanese Journal, and the Health and Pain Management in Chicago. All three of these organizations are doing research. Japan is a very medical forward as far as holistic medicine country, and they saw the opiates and the problem with our opiate crisis in America, and they decided that they were not going to do these opiates or these narcotics. And so they're the ones that actually began the research to find alternative medications for pain management. Let me give you a few things that Botox can help with. Lazy eye, for children who have a lazy eye. Eye twitches, for people who have twitches. Have you ever had that eye twitch where it bothers? They can do eye twitch. Chronic migraines, bladder control. Excessive sweating for children who have sweaty palms, sweaty feet. Cervical dilation for women who struggle with that. It also can help with muscle contractions, which is what they're doing with my nephew. It helps with immune systems, inflammation, sciatic nerve for pregnant women or even who experience a sciatic nerve. They're terrible. Arthritis, and pain management for pretty much any area in the body that you're experiencing tissue pain. Now, we have to understand that Botox does only help and fix soft tissue. It does not affect bones. So that is another drawback, but most pain we found with chronic pain, most of the studies say that soft tissue is where the chronic pain comes from. I just wanted to share this information with you guys tonight, and I would like to get more information out about these alternative medications, because me in my life personally, I've had a lot of friends that have struggled with addiction, especially with opiate addiction and narcotic addiction. I have 2 friends that served time at a women's prison because they became addicted to narcotics through childbirth, and one was a hysterectomy, and the addiction became so strong it took over their life. And I think this is something that not only can help children like Riker with chronic pain, but also adults fighting addiction. If we can find and manage pain without narcotics, our world's just going to be a better place. Thank you for your time.